Welcome to Your Mom's House.
This is a new content house in New York City started by 4 YouTube creators in their 20s. Most content houses end in disaster, but we spent a day with them and we think they have a real shot. Now, the question is, will it last or will it all come crashing down?
Hey, that's the one.
When we were in New York, we spent time at Your Mom's House, which consists of Elliot Choi, AnneMarie Chase, Kelly Wakasa, and Ashley Alexander. And together, they have nearly 3.5 million subscribers.
Like a lot of people liken us to the cast of Friends, which I think is just a real life version of it, maybe. I don't actually watch Friends, so I don't actually know.
Me neither.
When we toured the house with them and they took us all into the different rooms, their collective energy was really fun.
This is my room. I think I hit 1 million in April of last year, but I just got the play button in the mail a couple weeks ago.
Whoa.
I was just curious if I could get Samir to I just want you to sit in my chair.
When did you do that?
10 minutes before they got here, I just photoshopped it real quick.
Oh my god.
My Alaska poster. I'm Alaska. I have curtains that do not fit all the way down.
Do you come across other Alaska people often?
Not a lot. Yeah.
I've never met anyone else from Alaska other than you.
This is where everyone films their intros because it has good lighting.
Elliot has vibes on point.
This is our kitchen.
This is the source of most of our problems in the house. You'd think it may be content, but no, it's actually just cleaning. Cleaning is the source about all of our feuds.
They're all lifestyle creators, so they're used to showing their personality on camera. And when you actually watch all of their individual channels, you're sort of seeing this sitcom deconstructed, where there's all these storylines, there's romance, but it's playing out across all of their channels, which is super interesting.
I'm honestly so excited to move in. I have roommates. I'm living with some of my best friends, which you'll meet.
I'm moving to New York City tomorrow. Pretty crazy.
Is this a content house? Yeah, we're all planning to film and upload videos together.
At the very least, it'll be one of the most interesting years probably of my life.
No, I think the Deconstructed Sitcom offers you the opportunity to latch on and connect with one of the characters and then experience the world through their perspective.
Today, I'm going to ask my roommate out on a date. What could go wrong?
A lot of people say it's a bad idea. Personally, I don't care.
So if you're watching Your Mom's House and you like Elliot's perspective on all of it, you still get Ashley, Kelly, and AnneMarie in Elliot's videos, but you get it through his perspective. The entertainment of what's happening in this house is undeniable. It's obviously picking up. They have millions of subscribers across all these channels. Hundreds of thousands of people are watching. But there's still this added complication of how does this work? It's still a content house, which traditionally blows up in your face.
Always, pretty much every time.
There's definitely risks. It does get complicated once we're trying to work together more formally on a group entity, you might say.
But the interesting thing, they're not really paying attention to all of these creator houses. They're going in a much different route.
I feel like I haven't even paid that much attention to content houses.
Yeah, honestly,
personally, so I don't even know.
Really
I'm
either.
they failed? I didn't know that. I don't know.
Since the early days of content houses, we've seen a few different models of how content houses try and work. Team 10 used a revenue share model. They had Jake Paul, who was the impetus for the whole thing. He was running a company. If you were in the house, you shared a percentage of your revenue with Jake and the business Team 10. And then that crashed and burned.
Neighbors say flames eventually grew higher than the house, and as the pit was burning and smoking, they were fuming.
Then we have the Hype House.
And there is someone who owns the Hype House, which is Thomas, and he benefits because you come into the house, you get to live in the house, he pays for your rent, but in exchange, you have to do Hype House content and Hype House advertising.
Why are me and Michael the only 2 people in this room that ever have posted on the Hype House willingly? That's not true. It is. It's pretty true.
And now we have Your Mom's House, which is taking a totally different approach, which we're calling the Coworking Model. In the Coworking Model, creators choose to live together, but they operate their businesses completely independently.
A lot of these content houses are literally just to let's make a ton of money. But I think we just have a genuine approach of, hey, I just want to hang out with these guys all the time.
Even if you guys weren't in my videos, like I just still want to live with you guys.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know.
That's like why I moved in. I was like, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I think like that's an important distinction. It's like we're coming together so that we can make videos together, can live together, be friends together.
So for your mom's house, they don't share a manager, they don't share really any employees, and for a long period of time, they did not have a shared platform. They did just launch a group podcast, but they sort of delayed this process and just focused on being roommates and working on their independent channels, but living together. And what we learned from speaking with them is that they're solving some key problems that a lot of creator houses face and coming up with some really interesting solutions.
I would say a lot of creators face. I wouldn't even say creator houses. I would say they're solving something that creators face.
The first problem is education. It's really hard to get educated about what it means to be a creator and how to actually grow your business.
I don't know, it makes the job so much better, and we can honestly like grow so much from it too. We'll share
such a good learning experience.
Yeah, we like
I
share
feel like I've just learned
little
so
things
much.
like
They taught me like Photoshop tricks.
Yeah, like
camera
hard
stuff.
skills.
I use Premiere now sometimes.
Yeah. Kelly teaches me Photoshop.
It's a production.
Yeah, he's
Premiere
very
stuff all the
technically
time.
inclined.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
about
good
you?
I
with
wouldn't
the
have
software.
expected it, but like you're like so into like your camera gear, your equipment, your editing.
Yeah.
Like
He's a nerd.
he is a nerd.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
No, the reason this is a problem is because we're all learning about this in real time. This is literally unfolding in real time. There's no traditional roadmap for becoming a creator.
Everyone's career is different.
Someone learns something and then everyone's like, oh, okay, I guess that's how you do it. You mentioned this about skateboarding, where in the early days of skateboarding, someone would do a trick and then they would name that trick so that other people could do the trick.
And so that they could add to the trick. So you learn how to do a kickflip because you see someone doing a kickflip and then you do a varial kickflip or a 360 kickflip. And that's what's basically happening with creators right now is we're all going down these different roadmaps. And if we don't talk and we don't showcase what we're doing, none of us can learn. It's something that MrBeast said was instrumental for his growth.
Imagine a world where it's just you working solo and you work 12 hours a day every day for like a year. And you're just grinding, you make a mistake, you learn from it, and you do that for like a year. And then imagine a different world where you have 4 friends who are also equally grinding in something similar. Friend number 1 makes a mistake on Friday. He teaches the other 4 people. Friend number 2 makes a mistake the next week, teaches everyone. And then like you're all learning from each other's mistakes. You're all constantly studying 24/7 and downloading each other. Like after a year, you're like 2 years ahead of the guy who was just solo.
So not only are you learning quicker with people around you, but you're also able to institute a little bit of structure. Especially for everyone in this house, they all came from college where you're extremely structured, then you become a creator, and it's literally the loosest career you could have.
We have 4 channels. There's only 7 days of the week, and we post once a week. So it's like, we really need a schedule. Like if the scheduling doesn't happen, there's like too much overlap and conflict, so it just like needs to happen.
I think that they are unique in this. I don't think that every content house has a ton of structure. Again, going back to the Hype House, like when they tried to have group meetings from what we saw on the Netflix show, they didn't really look that structured. The thing about what your mom's house does is they have this thing they call chapter.
This is what we use for chapter. We almost did not get this, but
So worth it.
it was so worth it.
Once a week, you like have to go to chapter. You just like get on the same page with everyone and like,
a lot of like
talk about
scheduling
plans.
or like brainstorming video ideas. Or
Some people, not to lay this on you guys, but might call it an all hands meeting.
I've never even heard of that.
No, it's chapter.
Yeah.
They talk through everyone's content goals. They talk through the videos each of them are making.
They talk through why they hate Colin and Samir.
Oh no.
Smaller than the NHL.
Oh, I'm so sorry that you guys were not supposed to see this.
Another problem creators face, especially young creators, is the lack of community. Again, it's something you get in high school, it's something you get in college. Once you graduate, it's much harder to find community.
The most important thing in life, I think, is community. So for me, like coming into a community of people like-minded, really creative, smart, I think was super important because I've like experienced just like 5 years of just like not having any community.
Friends, coworkers, roommates, like just like people to be around. I mean, at least myself personally, like I was living by myself upstate and it's just like really isolating.
I mean, we talk about this a lot, but creating content is like, usually a lonely job. They're talking to the camera by themselves, editing by themselves, all that stuff. And so it's like super helpful to have each other, to bounce ideas off of each other, to brainstorm together, to film together.
You know, both of these points, education and community, I think for us, as well as a lot of other creators now, this is going to become a lot more common to have a space where you work. It's crucial to growing as a career, is being surrounded by people who are doing the same thing as you.
I actually got this a lot from like other friends who had tried creator houses and failed, but they said that you should try to find other creators that make similar types of content. Like, for example, a lifestyle creator, find other lifestyle creators, because like then you can find true collaboration rather than if you have someone who's like an animator or like someone who does
like
movie
a chef
reviews.
or something.
Yeah, like the crossover doesn't work as well. And so we're all lifestyle creators, and I think like it works really well when we're in each other's videos.
As a creator, you need people on your team that can support you, like the sponsor of this episode, Jellysmack.
All right, well, I tell you about Jellysmack's new program, Catalog Licensing. Colin's going to make his favorite sandwich for me to try. Very exciting.
I think you'll like it.
Jellysmack has set aside $500 million to license back catalogs from creators. Now, let me explain to you how that works. Jellysmack will pay you money today to license the future AdSense earnings of your past videos. So Jellysmack will have the right to collect the revenue from your past videos for the next 5 years, and you'll have access to cash today to invest in your business. You can rent a studio, produce more content, hire more employees, start a new business, invest in something that you believe in, or even put a down payment on a new house. Selected creators can get anywhere from $50,000 to millions of dollars to invest.
So you click the link in the description to connect your YouTube channel, and then Jellysmack's advanced tech will calculate how much money your channel will earn in the next few years and reach out to you.
How's it going over there?
It's almost ready.
It's almost ready?
Yeah, a couple like hints of spice that I'm gonna add to it, which I haven't told you about.
Another reason why creators are doing this is because there's a lot of risks associated with YouTube. The platform could change, your channel could lose momentum, and this is a way to guarantee a payment right now rather than waiting to see what happens with the platform and with your channel in the future.
The money from Jellysmack isn't a loan, so you'll never have to pay it back, and you still own all the monetization rights to your future videos.
Is it time to try this sandwich?
Yeah, so this is a strawberry puree from the farm fields of Orrville, Ohio. And that's it. Enjoy.
That's delightful.
I know my jelly.
All right. While we eat this jelly snack, go check out Jellysmack.
The fourth problem that your mom's house solves is growth. And this is something that we see in a lot of standard creator houses, accelerated growth from living together.
You're with a bunch of other creators. If one person gets hot, you're in the same house, you're gonna grow.
I mean, a rising tide lifts all ships, Samir.
That is a very cliche saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So
now, it doesn't always work. For them, it has absolutely worked.
AnneMarie's subscribers in the last 6 months have grown 4,300% in comparison to the 6 months prior.
I mean, I had a lot of growth, but I think also it was like a mindset thing. Like for me, I like went to college, I planned on taking a very traditional like college like business route. And so even just like living with them has helped me realize like, oh, this is actually like possible to have this like be my job. Like, and they've helped me with that. They're like, you're a full-time creator, because it's still like even a struggle for me to say that. And they're like, no, this is what you do. So it's helped, like it's dramatically like changed my perspective.
And one really interesting example of accelerated growth is their friend Luke, who came to live with them for only a couple months. Before he moved in, he was averaging around 30 to 40,000 views per video. He moves in with them and his views shoot up to 200,000, 300,000 views. That's the difference between sort of not having a career and having a career as a creator.
The bottom line is they've all grown a lot in the last 6 months. I mean, collectively right now, they have 3.2 million subscribers across all 4 channels. By this time next year, if all goes well, they all stay together, they'll probably have over 10 million subscribers collectively.
I think what's most interesting, rather than like growth on our individual channels, is like how quickly we can sprout up almost like another channel or another page, and it's like can instantly have the strength of 4 creators combined. And that's really interesting because I think like, you know, it's exactly what we're talking about. Like we are stronger together than we are alone.
They recently just launched a podcast channel, which has 50,000 subscribers, and they're averaging 192,000 views per video.
That's crazy.
Within weeks, they now have another platform that's monetizable. Again, though, this accelerated growth is not unique to your mom's house. We see it in every successful creator house. What we don't see in most creator houses that we do see with your mom's house is sustainability.
I think a lot of that is because the deconstructed sitcom model supports their opportunity to take breaks.
I took like a little break after Vlogmas, and it was cool to be able to like still be a part of their videos. It allows more flexibility as a creator, because right now it's like if you have your own individual channel and you want to take a break or something, then that seems like very detrimental. But it's, you can still find us like in each other's videos.
They go a step further to say that your audience may actually get to know you better on a channel that's not yours.
You get to see each person from like in a different way in other people's videos.
So it's like when I film like Elliot, it's like he comes across as like how he does to me, which is insane.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Elliot's like,
he's a goofball.
Yeah.
Elliot's insane.
Him and Kelly are the same amount of crazy.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Today we will be serving Pepsi products only. What? Pepsi products only.
So I think it's really actually nice for the viewers to get to see that, because they're like, oh, like this is like how they act, like not in front of their own camera necessarily. So it's just like, it's really good to add depth to like everyone's personalities, I feel like.
Accelerated growth is reach. You're reaching a lot of people. But sustainability is all about depth. Do you have people who really care about you and will stay for the long term? And if you have that, that's when you can build a serious career.
The amount of super fans, I think, has been grown because if you think about it, we post a video each per week. And if I'm on everyone's channel, that's like 3 extra videos for myself or for everyone. So like everyone's fandom is really growing, and it's like a really strong fan. If you were even talking about, you watch maybe all of ours at the same time. So yeah, it just builds like stronger fans.
Just up on every device.
While this all sounds great, I think some of the hardest moments are probably coming up very shortly. Because with the launch of the group podcast, you're now entering into a space where you're going into business together and you're living together. Can you imagine if you and I, throughout the last 10 years, lived together while we work together?
Yeah, I mean, that would be really hard. I would say we spent, because we always, I can't imagine that. No, I can't imagine that. That would be extremely hard. I think you have to plan for the worst.
Yeah.
Of course, you always have to think about worst case scenario. Like this could go how most things go, like Call Her Daddy, where Alex Cooper was making more money than Sophia because she was doing more work, and then they had a ton of conflict and couldn't agree on the terms and went their separate ways. But I just wonder if maybe it's just, while this is out there in the world, we share the revenue. One day it won't be there anymore, and that's okay.
Those are definitely like some of the questions like we have to answer like as we're building out some of these channels and stuff. But I think like we've definitely talked about this, but we have like good faith in each other that like we're friends first, and so that's like really important to us that like, you know, we're not gonna like jip each other. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we've definitely talked about that and like how we would do revenue share and split and stuff, but it's not even at that point yet. So we're just trying not to worry about it yet, but we probably should.
If it were me, I would say kind of at this juncture, start thinking about picking and choosing whether you want to live together or work together.
Interesting. Spending the time with them, I'm just wondering if we're like old school thinkers in some of this. And
we've just seen things
we've
go
seen things
badly.
go badly, of course. And like, it is the most classic tale that you move into a content house and then it explodes. But I think that's because of the mismatched expectations. And I think that if the expectations are set, that's the number one, is that your expectations just have to be set. You have to constantly be communicating. And I think what they're doing, the smart things that they're doing is, one, the context of they all still have independent managers, independent businesses. They don't have one manager, they don't have one. That's really important. They're operating independently. To me, it's like, it's working. Do you need to change it?
I think no matter what happens, they won't regret it. Getting to have this time together shortly after college where you have the sense of community, you're learning from each other, you're experiencing this growth. It may get messy. I think they understand that, and they still recommend that people do it.
I think it's great. Yeah. I think 100% do it. Yeah, but I would say do it. Yeah, no, I think there's really nothing to lose. Like whether it be the experience or whether it be like you might grow from it, or even creatively, just being able to collaborate, you'll learn something by being around other creators. And so I think it's like 100% the move. We just did a month, like so helpful. Just do a month. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. I think it's really insane how much you can learn from it. Yeah.
you know, make sure that you vibe with everyone there. You have something in common or get along because you live together, you work together, you like sleep. Like you're together all the time.
All right, so thanks to Kelly, Elliot, Ashley, and AnneMarie for having us. That was a blast. And thanks to Jellysmack for sponsoring this episode. And Colin,
make sure to subscribe because we're getting pretty close.
It does feel like we're getting close, right?
Passing the NHL.
It feels like that's happening.
I'm going to call that gap right there close.
How about the fact that you dropped in on the half pipe?
How about it?
That was insane.
I had a lot of adrenaline. I was prepping all day
I see.
with the understanding that I was going to drop in immediately.
Got it.